She is the stupidest angel. Her wings had opened and she didn't know it until she looked through the window. But he is on Earth. What if someone else sees him? Because he had forgotten how to retract his wings. He was at a loss. The phone rang. It turned out that the big lady was looking for it. He went to the window and looked down. At first he was sweeping the yard but was nowhere to be seen. He was actually leaning against the wall. He entered the mansion. After the maids left, he entered his room. But the wings are too big. So it gets stuck. And this loud sound caught Yeon Seo's attention. When he regained consciousness, Kim Dan entered the room. Then closed the door and took a deep breath. He had already cast enough spells. But his wings still couldn't be retracted. Currently, Yeon Seo is slowly walking with a cane. Just as he was about to open the door, he heard the sound of glass breaking. He went to have a look. Found that the glass door had broken most of it. The wind blowing in his face reminded him of an incident during a performance. His legs softened and he fell to the ground. He crawled into the living room. The wind shaking the ceiling lamp horribly. He seemed to have discovered something. So he raised his head. The ceiling light fell. And his mind returned to the previous tragic scene. Kim Dan used her wings to protect her from the ceiling light. Are you okay? This tenderness makes Yeon Seo not know what to do. Then he lifted her up and stepped on the broken glass floor, placing her on the couch. He looked to see if he was hurt anywhere. But when she was about to pat his head, he pulled away. He saw the wing. What is this? The ceiling light was blown to the ground by the wind. At this time, Kim Dan rushed to spread his wings, protecting Yeon Seo. Are you okay? He picked her up, his feet on the broken glass floor, and sat her down on the couch. When he is sure Yeon Seo is not hurt, he can rest easy. At this time, Yeon Seo looks at the wing. Kim Dan jumped back in fright. Yeon Seo is confused and asks what's wrong. Kim Dan was so worried about his identity being exposed. He didn't dare to meet her eyes. But he moved closer to her. In the end, he told the truth. But he said it. Needless to say, no perverted name can explain the metamorphosis. Yeon Seo thinks Kim Dan isn't answering the phone because he's wearing this. After understanding what he meant, he continued the game with her. But just as he was about to leave, he grabbed his wings. Let go here, seeing him so serious. Kim Dan felt bad. He held tighter. Yeon Seo also criticizes the ugly wings. Kim Dan pushed him into the chair. Who said bad? Is this bad? Such beautiful wings. Have you ever seen them? Yeon Seo is increasingly convinced that he is leaving. Kim Dan left. He didn't stop her anymore. Then he lay down on the bed. Remember the scene just now? He whispered it. Antisocial, perverted, psycho, at the same time. Kim Dan took out the broken glass from his feet. When he saw her wound healing itself, she remembered that she was an angel. At this time, Yeon Seo also remembers that her leg was injured. So she took some medicine and brought it to him. Saw him standing outside. Turns out she was worried he'd be sleep deprived. So she made him a glass of calming water. Yeon Seo said that she wasn't afraid at all. But Kim Dan understands it very well. Why are you lying? I'm scared. I'm shaking. I need you. If you say these things, no one will catch you. Then he gave her a cup of tea. The confused Yeon Seo immediately closed the door. Kim Dan said she would sit there so she could sleep better. Yeon Seo opens the door and gives him some ointment. He said he was afraid he would quit, so as not to disappoint. He still applied the medicine to his feet. The next morning, Yeon Seo wakes up and goes to the front door. He spoke, but no one answered. Thinking he was sleeping, he saw the housekeeper. He could see her nowhere.